Welcome back. In our last video, I told you I'll be your guide to studying abroad. Today, we're diving into the most critical part, making sure you're eligible to apply. This isn't about just good grades, it's about making your application stand out. First, a crucial reminder, you need to have the right prerequisite degree. You need a completed baccalaureate to apply for a bachelor degree, a completed bachelor degree to apply for Master 1 or Master 2, and a completed master degree to apply for another master degree or a PhD doctoral degree. This leads us to our next big point. Your application needs to be a seamless story. You should apply for a degree that is a suitable and logical next step from what you've already studied. For example, don't apply to a master's in computer science if you have a bachelor in history. It needs to make sense to the admission committee. Second, which is non-negotiable, you need to be able to speak the language of the program. You'll need to provide an official language proficiency certificate, which differs between a university and another. We'll explain that later in the required documents. Now, let's quickly break down the master's degree options. You have the Master 1 and the Master 2. The Master 1 is typically a 2 years program, while the Master 2 is just a 1 year program. The final semester of the Master 2 is often a stage or internship, which is mandatory to graduate the master. For the internship, you have two options: internship in a company or a research stage in a lab. If you do your internship in a company, you'll get valuable work experience and you'll network with professionals. On the other hand, if you choose a research lab, you can contribute with a scientific paper, for example, or a project, which is an excellent preparation if you're seeking a PhD after. And finally, to raise your chances of being accepted, you need to build a rich CV. Admission committees need to see that you are passionate and proactive, which means, of course, adding more than just your grades. So what to add? You can include any volunteering you've done, any scientific papers you've published, or any work experience and internships you have. Anything that shows that you have practical experience and real interest in the thing that you're doing makes a huge impact and a huge difference. Always remember, your application is a reflection of you, so make it count. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment. I'll try my best to answer as fast as possible. And for our next video, we'll discuss the research and how to search for the program that's suitable for you. Don't forget, follow me so that you don't miss out. See you on the next video.